what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for coming back. And if you're new here, welcome. So today we're going to be doing the FENTY palette, and we're doing 5 looks with the FENTY palette. Now the reason I chose to do this was because this palette is, as you can see, it's an all glitter palette. Like, these are intense glitter shades. So I figured there might be quite a few people that are kind of like, well, I want the palette, I really like the colors and stuff like that, but how useful is it? You know, is it worth the money? Is it worth going out of my way and fighting the crowd for the limited edition palettes, you know? And so I thought that I would just make this video so that if you have this palette or if you're interested in this palette, you'll have some ideas on how to use these shades in like your everyday or even like your evening looks, or you know, whatever. It's just some ideas. I'm going to play with quite a few of the shades in here, so if you are interested, just keep on watching. I have not opened this palette yet. I have not touched it. I have not swatched it. I have not done anything. It's still in the package, so I'm so excited right now. I meant to get this video out a week ago, and I had some technical difficulties and things just didn't happen. So I've still been waiting for so long. And here we are. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful. I mean, just look at that packaging. I've seen people open this on camera, and just seeing this in person, it is just totally different. It is gorgeous. Okay, so to start off this look, I think I'm just going to do a neutral brown smoky eye, and then I want to have like a pop of a glitter liner. So for that, I'm going to start by prepping my eyes with my Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Concealer. And the first shade I'm going to take is Latest right here. And I'm just going to take that on a Morphe M513 brush, and I'm just going to put that in my crease as my transition shade. And if you don't know me or have never been to my channel before, then just a heads up, I do everything on the top of my eyes, from all the eyeshadow to the liner and the lashes and everything on the top of my eyes first. I completely finish the top of my eyes, then I go in, finish off my face, and then do underneath my eyes. So if you're wondering why I'm not doing underneath my eyes, that is why. I'm going to take the shade Latinas right here, and I'm just going to take that on my Delium Tools 776 brush, and I'm just going to start to deepen the crease with that. Now I'm going to take the shade Citri. I am just not good at these names at all. I'm just going to pop that in my crease as well. I'm just going to blend that out with my Morphe M13 brush, 513 brush. So then I'm going to go into the shade I'm just going to use my Smashbox. It's just a Smashbox brush that I had. It came with my Shape Matters palette, and I'm just going to place that right on the lid here. Then I'm just going to take my Delium Tools 776 brush, and I'm going to go into the Succubus shade, I guess, right here. And I'm going to pop that on my inner corners. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my Maybelline Eye Studio eyeliner. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do one eye at a time. Now, I do only show you guys how to do one eye, but just so that you know, I'm doing one eye at a time so that the eyeliner doesn't have time to set completely before I pop the glitter on top of it. So I'm going to try to work pretty fast. Just keep that in mind. So I'm going to have my tools and everything ready so that I can pop that glitter on top of the liner before the liner actually sets. And I want it to be pretty dramatic. Okay, I think I'm going to go in with Cosmic Ocean right here. I think that's the name of it. And I'm just going to pop that on the inner part of my liner. Then I'm going to go into Ultraviolet right here. Then I'm going to pop Space Out on the very outer portion of my wing. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the shade Mars on Fire, and I'm just going to pop that onto the center. Okay guys, so the liner got a little bit thicker than I originally intended it to, but I don't mind it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my Estee Edit The Edgiest Mascara. So now I'm ready to do underneath my eyes, and I'm just going to kind of finish them off with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, putting all those same colors, those neutral browns, underneath the eye. So I'm going to use my Mary Kay eye crease brush, and I'm going to go ahead and skip the latest shade, and I'm just going to go straight into Latinas. I think I want to blow that out quite a bit to kind of match our dramatic liner that happened on accident. Then I'm going to go in with my Delium Tools 780 brush, and I'm just going to take the darkest shade that we used. Just going to apply that on the outer portion of the lower lash line. And just because I'm obsessed with it, obviously, I'm going to take the Marc Jacobs highliner in the shade Mist Me, and I'm just going to put that on my waterline. Then I'm just going to apply my Estee Edit The Edgiest Mascara on my lower lash line. I wanted to pop a little bit of Milky Way right here onto the inner corner. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quickly. Okay, so the second look is just going to be a classic black smoky eye with a pop of glitter. So I'm just going to start off by prepping my lids with the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Concealer. So I will have a separate tutorial for these palettes, but I am going to be using one of my Sephora Pro palettes, and I'm just going to take the shade, Flax right here. And taking that on my Delium Tools 776 brush, I'm just going to pop that into the crease really quick. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Eye Studio, the gel eyeliner, and I'm just going to apply that over my whole lid. And before I move on to the other eye, I'm just going to go in and kind of buff out that crease a little bit. And before that black base sets, I actually want to go ahead and go in with the black eyeshadow that's in this palette here. I'm just going to use my Coastal Scents BRB SO2 brush, and I'm just going to pack that onto my lid. Now I'm going to turn my brush to the side a little bit and start to blend that into the crease. I'm going to take a large fluffy brush and run over that. Now I'm going to go in with that first brush that I used, the Delium Tool 776, and I'm just going to blend over the edge of that again. I believe this is the shade Extraterrestrial, and after looking at this shade, it kind of swatches really dark. It's like has a really black base to it. It's the shade right here, but it still kind of reflects green. Sorry, I still have some foundation on the back of my hand. So I think I want to use that shade because it'll kind of keep the smokiness of the look, but add that pop of glitter and color that we want. So I'm just going to pop that on the center of my lid. Now I'm just going to go in with my Estee Edit The Edgiest Mascara. Okay, so now I'm just going to repeat the same steps on the lower lash line. So first I'm going to go in with the shade Flax from that Sephora Pro palette. And then I'm going to go in with my black base. I'm just going to put a light amount on my lower lash line. Don't worry about making this clean because we're just going to smudge it out. And then I'm taking a separate pencil brush. This is the Delium Tools 780 brush, and I'm just going to smudge that out. I'm also going to go ahead and apply that to my waterline. And then taking my Anastasia brush that came in one of my Anastasia palettes with that black eyeshadow and just going in and setting that. Now I'm just going to apply my Estee Edit The Edgiest mascara on my lower lash line. I'm going to take the shade Mars on Fire right here, and I'm just going to take that on my MAC 214 brush, and I'm just going to pop that on my inner corner. So you could leave it just like that, but I think I want to take this shade right here, Midnight Bolt, especially since I haven't used it yet, and I'm just going to place that on the outer lower lash line. I decided to pair this eye look with a nice bright purple lip. This is the Katy Kat Matte lipstick in the shade Cosmo Kitty. And I really like this lipstick, and you know, the Fenty palette is very galaxy themed, and so I thought I'd do something kind of retro and modern to kind of go with the galaxy theme. So yeah, that's why I decided to choose this lip. You could totally just go with like a basic nude lip. You could pair it with a red lip. You could really pair this with whatever you want to pair it with. I mean, nowadays anything goes. So this is the finished look. So I'm just going to go in and apply my Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer as my eyeshadow base, and then we'll get into the look. Okay, so I'm going to be kind of doing a rainbow crease kind of look, or I guess technically more of like a galaxy crease kind of look, because there's not really enough shades in this palette to do a rainbow look, but I'm basically just going to be creating a glitter crease as best I can. I've never done this before, so we're gonna see how it goes. So the first shade I'm gonna use here is the shade Cosmic Ocean, and I'm taking that on my MAC 214 brush because I just want to kind of chisel out exactly where I want to see that shadow, and I'm just gonna do that by looking straight ahead into my mirror and then placing that exactly where I want to see it. So I'm just gonna kind of start to do the base of the crease first and kind of map it out, and then I'll blend it upwards from there. So now I'm going to go into the shade Midnight Bolt, I believe is what it's called. It's this dark blue shade right here. Then I'm going to go into the shade Space Out right here. Next I'm going to go into the shade Mars on Fire. I'm going to start to bring that crease down a little bit because I kind of want it to come down and up. And lastly, I'm going to go into the shade Planet X right here. I'm just going to go back in, like working my way from the inside out with the same colors and just feathering those upwards. So I'm just going to place it down and then kind of like pull it upwards. These little like upwards flicking motions. And just making sure to overlap the colors so that they kind of transition really nicely from one color to the next. Now I'm just going to take a loose fluffy brush and I'm just going to kind of run over the edge of all those colors just to blend everything out nice and smoothly. Okay, so next I'm just going to take a little tiny bit more of that Kat Von D concealer and I'm just going to define that cut crease a little bit more. I'm actually just going to use my Urban Decay. This is what I got in my Naked 2 palette, and I'm using the thinner, flatter side. It's basically a concealer brush, so if you have a concealer brush, just use that. I'm going to take my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to take this shade Succubus right here. I can never say that. And I'm just going to pack that across my entire lid. And I think I'm actually going to dust that out a little bit underneath the wing here. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Kat Von D tattoo liner and I'm just going to create as thin as possible of a wing. But you know how that goes. You plan for a thin wing and then it gets thicker, so we're gonna do our best. Next, I'm going to take the shade Extraterrestrial right here, and I'm just using the brush from my Naked Heat palette, and I'm just going to run that on the lower lash line. I thought that since we have kind of a rainbow crease, we'd keep the lower lash line pretty neutral. I'm going to take the shade Milky Way right here, and I'm just going to pop that on my inner corners. And this is the finished look. Okay, so for the next look, of course, I'm going in again and prepping my eyes with the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Concealer. Okay, so I'm just going to start this look off with a neutral shade in my crease. So I'm going to take the shade Latinus from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. And I'm just using a Morphe 513 brush. I'm just going to pop that in the crease. Then I'm going to take the shade Milky Way right here. So I want to create a kind of glittery wing on the lid. So I'm just going to pop that on the inner portion. Now I'm going to go into the shade Sublime right here. Next I'm going to use the shade Ultraviolet right here. And then I'm going to take the shade Midnight Bolt right here. I think I'm actually going to take a little bit of space out right here, and I'm just going to use that over the outer part of the wing here. Now I'm just going to apply my Estee Edit The Edgiest mascara. I'm just going to go pop on some fake lashes and I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm going to take the shade Light Year right here. I'm just going to put that on my lower lash line. Now I'm going to take the shade Sunburst right here. And using my Morphe M562 brush, I'm just going to run that on the bottom part of my lower lash line. Now I'm just going to apply my Estee Edit The Edgiest mascara on my lower lash line. And now I'm going to take this NYX eye pencil in the shade Electric Blue, and I just want to pop that on my waterline. Okay, so I just popped on the NARS Satin Lip Pencil in the shade Timon Faya, I think is how you say it, but this is the finished look. So for the last look, I just wanted to do something that's a bit more wearable. So I think I'm just going to do like a warmed tone halo eye with a pop of glitter on the center. So of course, first I'm going to prep my eyes with the Kat Von D Lock It Concealer. And I'm going to be using all of the warm toned guys right here. So I'm going to start with the shade Latest right here. And I'm also going to place that on the inner corners. Then I'm going to go into the shade Lucius right here. And I'm just going to use the brush from my Urban Decay Naked Heat palette, and I'm just going to start to deepen the inner and outer corners with that shade. I'm going to very, very lightly bring that across the crease a little bit, just to add that definition. Now with nothing on the brush, I'm just going to run over the edges of that with my Morphe M513 brush. Now taking my Delium Tools 780 brush, I'm just going to dip into the darkest shade Solace right here. And I'm just barely going to tap that shade on the inner and outer corners of my lids, but I'm not going to take it across the crease. I'm going to go back with that Urban Decay Naked Heat brush, and I'm just going to blend out the edges of that. Now going into the Fenty palette, I'm going to take the shade Sunburst right here. And I'm just going to take that with my ring finger to pop it on the center of my lid. Now I'm just going to apply my Estee Edit the Edgiest mascara. Okay, so now I'm just going to go pop on some lashes, finish off my face, and then we'll come back and do the under eyes. I'm just going to repeat that exact same process, doing the outer and inner corners darker, and then adding that pop of glitter on the middle of the under eye. I'm going to start with that Urban Decay Naked Heat Brush, and I'm just going to take that first shade that we used. Apply that to the inner and outer corners. And taking my Delium Tools 780 brush, I'm going to take the Lucia shade, keeping that a bit tighter on the inner and outer corners. And I'm just going to take my MAC 214 brush, and I'm going to take the darkest shade here, Solace, and apply that really tight to the lower lash line. Now I'm just going to take my Mary Kay eye crease brush with the Sunburst shade right here and apply that to the middle of the lower lash line. Now I'm just going to apply my mascara on the lower lash line. Okay, and this is the finished look. Like I said, I wanted this to be a more wearable look, so I did go just with my NARS Orgasm lipstick because it's pretty simple, but it also has like that gold reflex, so I still feel like it kind of goes with the eyes. So I thought that was, you know, a good kind of more wearable choice. Obviously this look is still pretty dramatic, but just to keep things just a little bit more toned down, I thought that I would go with a more simple lip. What do you think? That is it for my Fenty video, you guys. So I had so much fun creating all these looks. I really feel like I pushed myself out of my comfort zone, and it's pretty inspiring. Like, to me, for me to make these videos and to do stuff like this and like come up with different creative ways, which I know not all of the looks are like super innovative or whatever, it's still like looks that I haven't done before, and so it pushes me to like want to do more. So tell me if you guys feel just as inspired as I do by this palette and like the possibilities with this palette. I really think it's beautiful. I feel like it performed really, really well. I definitely think it is something to go out of your way for. It's a great eyeshadow palette if you're looking for something to just kind of amp up your everyday looks. This is just great to like put on top of whatever colors you wear on a regular basis. Overall, I think this is a really, really well done palette. Great job, Fenty Beauty. Great job, Brianna. It's amazing. The packaging is amazing. The whole line is just incredible. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something new and that you're feeling inspired to kind of step out of your comfort zone and try a new technique or a new color combination or a new eyeshadow style or whatever it may be. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Bye. You're just gonna sit here and stare. I gotta do the cute little drops because everybody else is doing the cute little drops, so... Hi. Are you leaving? I love you. Okay. How cool is this mug, by the way? It's a freaking gun. It's so cool. Your girl got some roots and she's trying to cover them up a little bit right now, so that's where we are. Yeah. And my cat is making noises in my closet, so literally forgot that she was in here. I feel like a sparkly goddess right now. Okay, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Okay, shut up.
Is there something on the floor?
Okay, get out. Did you come in here just to make these comments? So let's move on to the next look.
It looks really good.
Okay, thank you. I feel like I have all of space on my eyes right now. Okay, so for the last look I wanted to do something that's a little bit more... Really? Everything.